show you what makes the song Lazlo Szombathy by The Great Vehicle tick. So here we go. Actually, here we don't go, because the song starts with an acoustic intro, the material of which is actually derived from something a little bit later in the song, so we'll come back to that. By the way, Lazlo is named after a peripheral character in the Kurt Vonnegut book Mother Night, and is in 7/8 all the way, except for one measure. We'll come back to that. It starts off relatively quietly. It's just the drums and the bass is playing the line from the A section. Before the actual A guitar part comes in, though, I'm just hitting this minor major 7 chord, sometimes called the Hermann chord after Bernard Herrmann and his use of that chord in the score for Psycho. I just think of it as that one chord that's in Home by the Sea by Genesis. Okay, so the signature guitar part in this section goes like this. You might think of that as, in this position, B Phrygian slowly mutating into E flat major or B flat Mixolydian, but really it's just a symmetrical pattern on the guitar neck made up of these notes. Okay, this note, by the way, heard that in that chord, didn't we? Okay, so that pattern happens and then goes up a minor third and then repeats. Now, what we have going on here is actually sort of a Great Vehicle signature, which is the asymmetrical construction of the song. You might think of one time through the pattern is both positions. But what it does is repeat that 3 times, and then as it's going to the 4th time, it only plays the lower one. Why not? The violin on this track is played by Betsy Ellis, who is an outstanding player, and she said that due to the way a violin is tuned in fifths as opposed to fourths on guitar, that it felt really weird under her fingers and was kind of a pain to play. She still got it in like 2 takes, right? But so what works on one instrument is idiomatic and doesn't necessarily apply to another instrument. The next section, on the recording, it's a little bit difficult to hear what I'm going to show you because there are some chimey overdubbed harmonics and other alternately tuned parts in there, but this is what is the backbone and the part that I play live. So what do we have? This I'm calling a C sharp minor because there's C sharp, E, G sharp, pretty weird inversion, and this, let's just call this E minor 7. Here's your E, G, and then D. And that is interrupted by this run. Another symmetrical pattern on the neck. Has not much to do with anything at all, but just sounds good, feels good, and works in that spot. Okay, getting in the middle section of the song, we have this pattern, which is not all that interesting until you start to repeat it, because it sort of gets off kilter and a little bit lose track of where 1 is. On top of that, we get this part. Which repeats. That part's just fine and all, but it really took on a life of its own when Betsy doubled it on violin. It reminds me of something really creepy like Danse Macabre by Saint-Saëns or something. After that section with the violin doubling, I come back on guitar and play a harmony part. And right there in measure 67 of the song is the one measure of 8/8. So again, Great Vehicle stuff, we stick that one measure in there just to get us back on track or to keep us off track, I'm not sure, but so that's the one discrepancy rhythmically in the entire song. Towards the end, this line comes in playing a harmony with the bass. Regarding that intro, and I'm going to share the music here, it is basically a reharmonized version of this line. And when I went back to figure it out so I could put it in this video, it took me a good 25 minutes to relearn what I had come up with. So write your stuff down, people. Anyway, that's on our EP called Observatory Sermons, link below. Go listen to it, please, check it out, and hey, try and play some of these parts. Record them, post them here, I don't know, do a cover.